there, it's me, Chris Kelly. It's a Wednesday and it's 6 o'clock instead of my usual 10 o'clock. I like to go in the mornings, but I had some appointments this morning that I couldn't change, so I am coming to you a little bit later. We're going to do some stocking stuffers tonight. As you guys know, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Rochester Hills, Michigan. I am blessed enough to have a dedicated in-home studio, which I lovingly refer to as the rubber room because it sometimes gets a little crazy there. But I like it there. That's my happy spot. So today I'm going to share some stocking stuffer ideas with you. And I'm going to share some of these like two just because we know it. And I like to do some stocking stuffers. I actually had a class that we did Friday, and it was the last of my Christmas Club classes, and so we did stocking stuffer ideas, and so I'm going to share some of those with you over the next couple days. And we're going to start off with this really cute little snowman. This is one of our cracker boxes. It's a die that we have, and I just cut some white sparkle paper and some black cardstock, and then used our, I think it's Snow Magic Christmas stamp set. Let me just grab them so I can tell you as we go through here. Which stamp sets and things that we're using. Okay. This one is going to be, it is the Snow Magic stamp set. So you have all these really great pieces to build a snowman. Then you have some little friends for your snowman with your bird and your little rabbit. And we also have lots of sentiments in there too. And then you have all of these dies. I really like this one. This one is like a frame die. Let's get that guy out of there. So it's like this, which I think is really great, especially for those of you that send out photo Christmas cards. You can put your photo right in there, and it's a really nice frame around it. And then you have some trees and stars and little snowman arms, and there's your bunny and a scarf and a hat and all kinds of really fun stuff in there. So that's the stamp set that we used. And I'm going to push this over here for now because we're going to have lots of little pieces here. So I'm going to start out with my sparkly white, I think it's shimmery white, and my basic black. And these are both pieces from the Cracker Box die. And then I have a little 1/2 inch circle there. And we are going to do a little snowman face, a snowman scarf, and some snowman buttons, and a little pumpkin pie marker for a little snowman face. Okay, so this is going to be obviously the top of our box, and so this is going to be the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on here, and what I'm going to do so that I'm sure I'm stamping in the right spot, I'm just going to add my little hat on the top. I'm not going to tape it down or anything. That's just going to be a guide so I know where to stamp my pieces. And let's see. I have a red ink pad here. And I'm sure I have a black ink pad here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I have we did 10 things, so I have 10 boxes here that I am trying to deal with. So, and I'm usually not good at dealing with more than one thing. So this is our Memento ink, and I'm going to start off with my little snowman face. And I'm just going to be sure he's in one of these little triangles. And then I'm going to bring in his scarf, and I'm going to do that in real red. Hope you guys are doing good. We're having some really great weather here in Michigan. Okay, so there goes his scarf. And then I'm going to stamp his little buttons in my black. We were having such great weather that I actually put up my outside wreath. So our holiday decorating is completely done. I was kind of done last week, but I just had these wreaths that I had to get up. And I was certain my husband was going to do it, but I got it done today. So we're all good. And we got a little snowman that we put out there. So we're just kind of waiting on some snow. So I'm going to take my pumpkin pie blend. I'm going to use my nib tip and just color the snowman's nose in. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my bone folder. And as part of Club, they all got this red ribbon, which I think is really pretty. I love the ruffle on it. I think that makes it look fancy dancy, right? And some 12 by 12 paper, and then these real red rhinestones, which are really, really pretty. So we're going to fold this up. When you use the die for this, you have these score lines there. So I'm going to fold and burnish everything on my score lines so that when I assemble my box, I'm going to get a really crisp fold there. Okay. And then I'm going to fold it this way on those score lines. So you have like a forward fold and a bottom fold, or a horizontal and a landscape, however you like to think of those. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of my box. It has score lines all the way around it. So I'm just going to fold those score lines and then burnish them. And again, I want a really crisp fold, especially at the bottom. And then I'm going to fold them in on the sides. This is going to make it a really square box. And the one I did for our club, I used some little of those strawberry candies that are hard on the outside and that have like a strawberry jelly in the middle. We used to always have those at Christmas time, but somehow they disappeared. So we are going to go with some of these little Werther's candies on the inside. I think that those will fit in there. So let's see if I can find my adhesive that I brought over my little thing. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus on this because I want to be sure that it holds really tight there. Okay. So I'm just going to fold that around. And it's probably easiest if you fold it just like that. And then kind of just squeeze it in there and make sure you have it tight, a real tight seal to it. And I'm going to grab my glue dots. I have about as much stuff as I can get on my little table, but it's working, so I'm okay with that. I'm going to get my snips. And I'm just going to put a glue dot on the end of my snips, if you can see that. There we go. And I'm going to turn my box upside down. And I'm just going to put my little glue dot on the edge of that flap there. And glue that down. And I'm going to do that on all of the flaps. So I'm going to put it right at the edge of this one and fold that one into it. And it's not going to bother me that they're going to stick out because I'm going to put that little circle that I punched out on top of it to kind of make the bottom of the box. So I just wanted to get it to hold just a tiny bit together. Okay. And I'm just going to go around all of there. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. Whoops. and that's going to give me that really good cracker kind of box look to it. And then I'm going to come in with my little circle, and I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus on there. And I'm going to put that right on the bottom of my box like that. And that's just going to give it kind of a neat, finished sort of look there. And I'm going to dump my candy in there. And I think I can fit 2 pieces in there. You might only want to put 1 in, but that's okay. You can put 1 or 2. You can put anything in there that you wanted to. It doesn't have to be a Werther's or a little strawberry candy. Whatever you want to put in there, you can. You could roll up some dollar bills and put them in there. I mean, who doesn't like a cracker with money in it, right? That is always a good thing. Okay, I'm going to take a quick peek at who's here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this black, which is going to be his hat. I'm going to put my Stampin' Seal Plus on the bottom of it. And I'm going to put it towards the back. This is going to be where I put my 2 edges together right there. You can see that. So that's where I'm going to start my hat. So I'm going right there. And I'm just going to wrap it all the way around. And then it'll come back to the back. And I'm just going to overlap it a little bit back there. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon and tie it. I'm just going to push that candy down just a tad bit more. Put my ribbon on there. And I'm going to put my ribbon right on those folds on that score line. Oh, I can see I missed that top score line where I should have folded it and I didn't. So let's see if I can go back and fold it now. Nope, I'm not even going to mess with it. I am going to put a glue dot right there though to hold my black top hat together right at the edge. Whoops. There we go. So that's going to go on just like that. This is a really cute one for kids for their stockings too, I think. So I'm just going to bring this in. And right around that center piece, I'm going to pull it tight. And I'm just going to tie it in a little knot there. You can tie it in a bow if you want to. I think a bow is a little bulky for that spot. So I'm just going to tie it in a little knot there. And there we go. And trim it up. So you have this great little, and see how you don't get that crisp edge there? Where's my little guy? See, that's why you want to fold on those score lines. So you're going to get that kind of crisp edge. You can see the difference there of where I folded on my score line and where I didn't. And I will come back in and score those and bend them down because I like that really crisp kind of fold to it. Okay, so there's our little snowman cracker box. And let me see if anybody has any questions, and we'll move right along to our next little box. Debbie Smith Sowards is here. Hey, Debbie, it's good to see you. And Kay, thanks for stopping in. And Sue, all right, this ain't, no, and you shared, Kay. Thank you so much. I like it when you guys share me with your friends. I'm glad you guys are all here with me. It's nice to have some friends to craft with. So next, we're going to do this little box. And this is it's called an envelope box. So let's get all of our little goodies out of this container. And your box comes like this. And you're just going to fold it. I actually pop these little stickers on the edges off. And I use this little pointy tool in my take your pick tool. And just pop those right off. You should probably fold it on your score lines and burnish them real good. And then we're just going to fold everything. And this is kind of a fun box because it holds lots of different things. I think this one I put some Ghirardelli chocolate squares in it. So, and I'm just going to, once you peel that little tab off, you're just going to fold it to the inside and stick it down. So this is kind of your sticky tape. And they put it on there for you, so you don't have to worry about putting it in the wrong spot. I don't know about you guys, but I am always putting when I'm making a box, I put my tape on the wrong side. I always claim it's because I'm left-handed, but I think it's because I'm not paying enough attention. So this one's kind of foolproof in that they have the tape already on there for you. So you just have to kind of follow those little tips when you're pulling it off, okay? So here's your box, and we put a little bit of shreddy in ours when we had it in class, but I'm just going to drop my little 2 chocolates in there. And this one has a little pre-cut flap, so you're just going to pull that one right into it. And then these 2 are just going to go right inside each other, like that. So a really quick and easy box to put together. It's much easier than I'm making it look right now. There we go. And we're going to just make this little belly band to go around it. So this is what ours looks like on the inside. Just put some shreddy in it, and then some little, these look like white chocolate sugar cookie Ghirardellis on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to cut it 2.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And let's see, I think I might, oh, that one's not going to be big enough. I'm going to take some scrap paper maybe and do it with that. Everybody got a half a pack of paper, and so I'm kind of just working with scraps from all of the projects that we did. So I'm going to bring in my little paper trimmer here, and I'm going to cut it at 8.5 by 2.5. So let's go 8.5 on this long side. Oh, it's going to be just about the perfect size for this. And 2.5. And I'm not going to score this along that 8.5 inch side. I'm just going to kind of wrap it around my box. So let's bring my box back in here. And I'm going to start at the bottom of my box. Now, I'm not taping it to my box because it's going to be a belly band that is going to slide on and off. So I'm not going to tape it there. I'm just going to kind of hold it there and fold it on that edge. I'm not going to pull it really tight because I want it to be able to slide on and off my box easily. So I'm just kind of giving it a really light fold on the edges, if you will. And then I'm going to take it off, fold these down straight, and I'm using my fingernails, but you can use your bone folder. Just anything that's going to give you a real nice, crisp, clean edge to it. And I just kind of like to make sure that my paper is straight with each other, and that way I know that my fold is going to be straight also. Okay, and then I'm just going to put my Stampin' Seal Plus again because I want a really crisp edge to it on the back and on the front. So I have the 2 ends, and what's going to happen is they'll fold like this and be taped here and here. So I'm just going to set that on the bottom of my box, wrap it all the way around on my score lines, and tape it down. Okay, so that's going to be my belly band. And it's just going to slide on there. Whoops, on and off there. Okay. And then I have 2 circles that I cut out. One of them is real red paper, and the other one is vellum. And I did cut those out using my Layering Circles dies. And let's see, I'm going to get to my Stamp-A-Magic here. I'm going to tumble everything over, I'm sure, before the night is over with. So, we used our Stamp-A-Magic, or our Scotty Dog for 2 projects. So what I did was I set them up on my Stamparatus so that we could get a really nice, crisp stamp with it. So I'm just going to ink my little doggies up with my Memento ink. And these are really solid images. And so I like to be able to just keep stamping and stamping until I have a really nice, crisp ink image. Okay. So, what is the deal there? It's got like a little hole in him. Okay. So I'm just going to bring it down and push them really in there. And see how they're just kind of, that one didn't get any ink at all. So, because they're on my Stamparatus, I can just keep inking and stamping until I do get that really crisp image that I want. We'll get his head really good this time. And I only did both of them at once because then you didn't have to stamp this guy and then come back and stamp that guy when you got to that project. So it was just kind of almost like a 2-for-1. And I actually think I'm going to back up my magnet here because I think maybe my problem is I'm not getting his head close enough there. So let's see if this works better to transfer the ink from his head. Now this Scotty Dog, we have a punch that matches, but this one we do not. So I'm just going to kind of ink up his head because I like the way everything else is really dark and has a really great coverage to it. So I'm just going to ink up his head a little bit. And there we go. I think that's good. You don't want to, when you're working with your Stamparatus, you really don't want to get those magnets close to each other. And I just have put some tape on mine to kind of make them so they're a little bit easier to take apart if they do get stuck together. So we're going to bring in this stamp. We're not going to use this punch right now, or this Scotty Dog right now, but I am going to punch him out just because I have my punch right here. And then he'll be all ready to go for the next one. So you can see we have some really great coverage on there. And he's all lined up in my punch. So, and we do not, if you remember, have a punch for this little guy. So I am just going to quickly bring in my paper snips and fancy cut him. Trying to keep my workstation a little bit organized and clean so that we can get through these. I think we'll only do 2 or 3 each day for the next couple days, and we'll be able to get through them all. I did a box that slides, and inside it are some Hershey's Nuggets. We did a little Swiss Miss Cocoa packet. A bag with a little gingerbread, little Debbie, gingerbread man that comes out of it. And we just did all kinds of little fun treats in different bags and packaging. Stampin' Up! Has a lot of packaging that you can take advantage of if making boxes isn't your thing. We have lots of pre-made boxes like this envelope treat box, where almost all of the work is done for you. So all you have to do is the decorating part. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, the decorating part is the funnest. Like if you're making Christmas cookies, right? I like to buy the pre-cut cookies. So then they're frozen and all I have to do is take them out and then cook them up, which makes my house smell really good. And then I can just decorate them. So I don't have all that baking to do, and I don't have all that cleanup from all of the baking and the flour and the sugar. And I like cookie dough a lot. So when it's frozen and you pop it out and pop it in the oven, I'm not tempted to eat that frozen cookie dough like I am to eat regular sugar cookie dough. So I like to do the pre-made and just save myself for the decorating part. And I find that that's the same way with these boxes. Although we did make quite a few this time around. So I think we kind of tried for a half and half. And we also got some gift card holders in. So I am going to share some of those with you the next couple days. And our my upline had her team meeting last night, and we did a shoebox swap there. So I do have a few cards that we made using some things from the new catalog. I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited about that new catalog. I'm hosting a shoebox swap here in the Rubber Room on Saturday, and I'm excited about that. I love to be able to get together and craft with my friends, and so this is going to be a great opportunity, especially with a new catalog. It's going to be a lot of fun. New catalogs always kind of get my creative juices flowing all over again. And now, of course, instead of the winter things, we're going to see some spring things for Easter and some flowers and lots of fun stuff. So it kind of lightens it up a little bit. Okay, so there's our Scotty dog. Here's our circles. We have our twine for this one and our gems. So what we're looking at now is going to be our sentiment. And so I already die cut our little piece for the sentiment. And the sentiment just says Merry Christmas. And I'm going to put that right on there in my real red ink. There we go. And put that one up there. I keep putting these back in the boxes, and then I set something on them, and it's like, okay, how did that happen? So with our vellum, you can see through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little piece of adhesive and just kind of offset these two. And I put that adhesive, see where you can see right where the adhesive is? I put that there because I'm going to put my dog right on top of it, okay? So let me grab my dimensionals here. I have everything in a little box because I took it last night with me to our team meeting, so I would have it to do everybody's shoe boxes with. So I'm just gonna put my dog up there and be sure he's right over where that tape is. And then I'm gonna take some tape. Let's put him on our box. And again, I'm gonna continue to use, what did I do there? My Stampin' Seal Plus, there we go, so that it's going to stay on there. So I'm going to put my Stampin' Seal Plus on there. And just be careful that you don't tape it to your box, because remember, this is a belly band, and we want it to be able to move. So I'm going to take mine right off there, and that way I'll know I don't have any on the back, and I can see I have two little pieces right there that I'm just going to kind of push underneath there. So then they're not going to stick to the top of my box, because I want that to easily be able to slide. Okay, and then I'm going to take my regular Stampin' Seal, I'm just going to fold this down, and I'm going to just put a little, like a little tick marker there, right to the side of it. Well, maybe I am. There we go. That's just going to make it sticky, and I'm going to bring in my silver cord. And I'm just going to do kind of like a little circle 8 with it. My cord is really kind of twirly, I guess. So I'm just going to take it and put it on the top of my scissors, put my thumb over it, and just kind of slowly pull it through. And that's going to straighten it right out. See how straight that is? And that's the kind of piece that I want to work with. So I'm just going to take it where my adhesive is and make a little loop there. I'm going to make a little loop down here and just be sure it's pressed right into where I have my adhesive on there. And then just kind of cut this at the top. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. And you can see just how quick and easy your decorating can be. I'm just going to kind of put them towards the Mary, because my Christmas is kind of going to go off the end. But this is how quick and easy you can kind of put these little decorating projects together, so that if you have some last minute gift ideas, or like I said, stocking stuffers, this is kind of perfect for it. So I'm just going to kind of make it so it's kind of between his little paws there. And again, just check and make sure my little dimensional's not showing back there. And then I'm just going to come in. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. And there is a bow that is in the punch that you can punch out. But I'm just going to give her a really sparkly collar there. Okay. And I'm going to kind of pull this twine a little bit. There we go. And then I'm just going to slide that whole thing right back onto the box. So there you can see it looks good with this paper, and it also looks good with this paper too. So when you come to club or class, you'll get that pack of paper, and you'll get to cut your own paper and decide which designs you like best and kind of how you want to put them together. So let me pop through here and see if anybody has any questions. Well, we're going to move on to one more. I think we'll do one more project for tonight. Hi, Carol and Monica and Cindy. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Oh, Cindy, you can always go back and watch the replay to catch the beginning part that you missed. It's never too late to pop in and have some stamping fun. Okay, so that's my little box. And next, why don't we do, let's see what we want to do here. Let's do our little gingerbread guy. Why not, right? Okay, let's do that. We'll do our gingerbread guy. We'll get all these things out of here. So we have this little template, and that's how we're going to cut our paper. And we did have the template in the boxes, so if you were here, you could follow along with the little template. And then we have a tag and a little circle. This comes from the Merry and Bright stamp set or bundle. And then this one is from the Stylish Shapes. I love that Stylish Shapes. It has circles, squares, and banners in it. So, okay, for this one, we're going to have a piece of Designer Series paper that needs to be 7 inches by 4 7/8. So, let me grab some script pieces here. Let's see if that is 7 inches. No, it's not. So just bear with me as I dig through my papers and find something that we can use. I don't use that same piece because that would be boring, right? use this piece. Well, that one might be way too busy. I don't know that I would like that one. Let's use this one. This one is not quite as busy as that. So that might be a little bit easier on our eyes. Sometimes when it's a real small print like that, I think you need a really big spot to put it. Okay, so we're gonna make this bag 7 inches by 4 7/8. So I'm gonna pull out my little arm here and do 7 inches. Monica, I hope we're still on for our call in the morning. I haven't talked to you since you came back from Vienna at On Stage, so I can't wait to hear how it was, how your visit with your mom was, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so for our bag, we're going to score the long side, which is the 7-inch side, at a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to use my little markers down here at the bottom of my paper trimmer. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inches. And this is kind of like one piece of paper that's going to make an all-inclusive bag, if you will. And 3 3/4 inches. And 4 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to turn it, and on my short side, I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inches. And you have designer series paper here, so it's very thin. So you need a very, very light touch when you are scoring it. All right. And I am going to then cut it. I actually am going to stamp my sentiment on here. And we're going to use All Is Merry, All Is Bright. And we're going to put it on here in some red. And I'm just going to stamp it before I cut my box so that it can take a minute to dry. Sometimes my red ink takes a minute to dry, and we want to make it so it doesn't smear. This is a circle die cut, so it doesn't matter if you stamp it straight or not, because you can just turn your circle in any direction and it will be straight. I gotta let my ink pad, the top slid off it, so it's a little bit inky. Get it on my fingers. Okay, so I'm gonna come in with my little piece of designer series paper, and again, that is 7 inches by 4 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so I have my little 1/2 inch piece here, and that's where I'm going to put my tape. But down here, I'm going to cut, I'm going to actually fold my score lines and burnish them before I start cutting, because sometimes when you have a really busy piece of paper, it's kind of hard to tell where your score lines are. So I like to come in and burnish them and fold on them right at the very beginning, and then I don't cut someplace where I shouldn't be cutting. Okay, so there's my little 1/2 inch and my 1 1/4 inch. And then this one again was 3 3/4. And then this one was a 4 1/2. Okay. So that is how my box is going to go. And I'm just going to cut up here on this score line all the way to my 1 1/4 inch score line. And I'm going to cut this whole piece off. Okay, so I'm just going to cut on my score line that entire section out. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to put, here's how it looks. I'm going to just give a little diagonal cut, sort of a mitered edge to this little flap here. Okay, and then I'm going to put my tape here on this little 1/2-inch piece and right there. And you can use tear tape if you want. I am just going to go ahead and continue to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'm going to put it on that little tab and on this one. And always when we're in class doing boxes, I like to put this template right out so you can cut right on it if you need to. So I'm going to flip this over and have it flat like that. And then I can just lift this one right, this bottom edge right up, put it on there, make sure it's nice and straight, and then just give it a crease like this. Okay, so that's gonna make that part of my bag. And then I'm just gonna take the bottom flap, and again, this is the little 1/2-inch where I put my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just gonna tuck it inside my box, or my bag. It's a bag. Just like that. And I'm going to hold it with my finger, put my bone folder inside, and just kind of swish it back and forth on the inside. So you have that nice kind of crisp edge there. And then I am going to just come in and give it a little hole punch. And I'm going to hole punch the other side. And I don't get all worried and concerned about if that hole punch is exactly in the middle, it is exactly on the same sides. I don't worry too much about that. So then I have this little Christmas gingerbread soft cookie guy, and I'm going to take some ribbon. This is going to be his new home. So I'm going to take some ribbon, and I'm just going to kind of wrap him in ribbon. So it's going to go like right between his legs and up. And I want a bow, so I'm going to give myself plenty of ribbon. I'm going to make sure I have enough ribbon to tie a bow. Okay, and this is going to be kind of a slider for him. So he's going to slide in and out of my box by pulling the top of the ribbon. So I'm just going to slide him in, and then I'm going to thread one piece of ribbon through that hole on the front of my box. There we go. And one piece of ribbon through the hole in the back. And again, you can put any kind of cookie, brownie, any kind of little treat that you want in here. And then we're just going to tie him up. Little bow there. There we go. And then I'm just going to take my bow and pull it so it's a good size there. And then trim it up a little bit on my ends. And that's going to be my nice little bag. And you're just going to pull your ribbon up, and that's going to pull your cookie up. And the more you do it, the more you're going to, the easier it will get to pull it. Your first pulls are going to be a little bit hard as it wears through those holes, but you'll get there. And then you're just going to push them back down in there. And you can always make your hole a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller if you're going to do twine there too. Okay? And then what I did was I took my little banner and put some adhesive on the back of that banner and put it down right in the middle of the box. And again, I took a little bit of adhesive, and I don't know why I keep doing that. I'll try my regular Stampin' Seal and see if I can get that to work. There we go. So again, just a little, like a little tick mark almost. And for this one, I'm going to use my gold. And I'm going to do the same thing to get all that little kinky stuff out of it. And if you don't mind working with that little curly ribbon, by all means, skip this step. and leave it curly because you're really going to get that little curve out of it anyways. I just find it's easier to work with when it's not flipping up all over. All right. And this twine comes in a 2-pack like this. So you get the silver and the gold. And then, of course, I have this All Is Merry and Bright. And I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. And there we go. And I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of these little gems around. I'm going to put one there. And down here, put that one right in the middle of that berry. And then over there. Okay, so you have your little gingerbread man little bag here. Oops, I'm going to have to pop them out and turn them over. I put my thing on the wrong side of the bag. But that's okay. I'll put my gingerbread. I'll just flip my gingerbread man over. So you have this bag, and here's what it looks like. Let's push this guy down like there's actually a gingerbread in here. In this pattern. And then we have our 2 little chocolate holders in 2 different patterns. And then we have these 2 little adorable snowmen candy holders. So let me just pop through here, see if anybody has any questions before I let you guys go. Thanks so much for stopping in tonight. Oh, Cindy, I'm glad that you liked them. Okay, you too. I know, I think they're just so cute. I love these little snowmen. They might be my favorite ones. I need to move it up. Okay. I hope that I got it at Carousel Arcade so that you could see it. I try to keep a watch on what I'm doing, but sometimes I get a little bit towards my own body. I'm sorry about that. But here you go. So I hope you guys will stop back by throughout the weekend. I know it's only Wednesday, right? So we have a lot of time to enjoy these little stocking stuffers in the next couple days. So have a great rest of the week, you guys, and I will see you soon. I did need to get them up, didn't I, Kay? Sorry about that. Bye-bye. Enjoy your evening, guys.